Hey, Charmaine.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Okay. All right, ladies. Well, it is a pleasure to see you all. I've missed you, um, and the kids, of course, but I've also been enjoying my own children at home. Um, so I just thought that we would start with just kind of like a coronavirus reflection. Let's share some good news, some positivity with all this going on in the world right now that's so negative. So I just have here just two different options of things you can share. Like number one, what have you learned about yourself as an educator as a result of this unprecedented experience? Or what's one positive result of this experience? Like it could be personal or professional, but you know, those could kind of be the same question, but you can either take it from a personal point or from a professional point. What have you learned about yourself that's good, or maybe that is going to help you going forward as a result of what we've had to, what we're experiencing right now? Y'all got that? Okay. So I'm going to start, and I think that as a professional, I'm learning that you constantly have to reinvent yourself, and that if you get stuck in one mode of doing something, you can easily get left behind. And the people that you are called to serve will be at a disadvantage because, you know, if you are not able to move and shift with the times, if that makes sense. So, I've seen a lot of people. I'm a part of this group for elementary school counselors, and like lots of people are posting things that they're doing, online videos, lessons, and all that. I'm like, wow, okay, these are some really good ideas. How could I do that? How could I share? And even though we've not personally been required, to do anything or put lessons out there, I still feel a burden to do something. Like I need to do something to continue to be relevant and helpful to the students that I serve and to teachers as well. And then on a personal note, I'm just seeing how important time with family is. And especially with my daughter, because I had been feeling kind of not really disconnected, but just like, wow, I'm missing these moments, with her. She's all day at home with my mom, and she's starting to call me the same thing she calls my mom, and it was just kind of starting to aggravate me a little bit. And so just being able to have this personal one-on-one time with her has been really good, and Gabe as well has just been really, really good, and I'm grateful for that. So that's the silver lining for me, being able to spend quality time with my family. Okay, I said a lot. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. This is Candace. I've learned that I'm a person of structure, and I'm like kind of like you said, it's kind of like I'm out of my element. I'm used to a routine, and I mean, it's great to be at home with my kids and everything, but it's still like I'm a person of routines, and it that in itself is very I don't want to say frustrating, but it's just so different, and so I'm having to try to come up with another routine, so to speak. So that I just feel out of sorts, kind of. But on a lighter note, I think I found out that my baby girl would be a better learner at home. She could be like a better student if she was at home. She's doing really well as far as doing her classwork and like logging on to her classes. Like, let me know that she has a meeting today at 1:30. So I see the positive and the negative. And on a personal note, it's caused me to be a little bit more humble in a religious sense. Sometimes we rely so much on ourselves and our own capability, so we forget that. Now, this is just me. So we forget that Christ is the one that enables us to do things. So just kind of just kind of like, I got all kinds of things running through my mind.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Who else wants to go?
I'll go next. I definitely feel like I have found out that I'm a social person. And I like to be around people and I like to have a lot of stuff going on. But it's been nice to be at home and be around just my family. And, we spend a lot of time together as a family. But, in the afternoons, a lot of times we were doing our own things and going here and there. So it's nice to have my child home from college and doing all of her work here. And the only thing that's been a little bit of a challenge is like to keep a house full of teenagers fed every day. That's been a lot of fun. But I definitely realized that like I'm used to being around people and used to being out in the community and doing stuff and not sitting at home this much. But our house needed a lot of attention, so we're going to be cleaning out closets and doing lots of fun stuff like that. We've already been doing some stuff in the that's been the kind of nice part of it.
Yes.
And just time with family and just I don't know, slowing down a little bit has been nice.
Right.
From a school standpoint, I definitely have found like I like to have a plan and know what the plan is and know what I need to do. And I guess I kind of feel like all floundering a little bit as to whether we're going to go to online learning completely. Are we going to be going back to the school to make packets again? Like, I guess just kind of what is the expectation and when are we going to find out has me very anxious.
Right. Me too. That too.
Because I've been saving stuff and kind of trying to figure out what I could do both ways. Because I feel like something's definitely coming, just not knowing what it is.
Gotcha.
It's hard.
Right. I understand.
This is Becky.
Go ahead.
And I would agree with what she said. Like yesterday I went to school because I had my daughter here and we made packets for the next 2 weeks just in case, because you don't know what's coming and you don't know, what's going to be expected. And then if everybody goes in next Monday to create these packets, it's just going to be hard for everybody to get it done. And also being around so many people, I worry about bringing something home to my mom because she's 89 and she lives with us. And so I worry about that. I've enjoyed time home with my family, but then I think about my kids and I wonder, what's happening with them. I know some parents are really struggling with doing this with their kids at home. And I know some don't have the resources that we would like for them to have to be able to get on YouTube and see the videos that we want them to see or to do the online things that would help.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, a concern because, a lot of my students don't have those resources.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'll go next. Professionally, because this is a new position for me anyways, so definitely trying to find ways that I can be helpful via the web and just talking to some friends who have the same position in other districts. I'm kind of like a lot like Candace and Miss Joyner. Like I like to have structure. I like to know what's going on. I like to be able to be prepared. And I kind of feel just kind of out there waiting on the next email in a sense. And then talking to other people in other places, it's like, wow, y'all have an actual plan in place where everybody has a responsibility and some accountability, where I'm kind of feeling like that's not the case for myself
Right.
right now. But yeah, so in that, I was thinking about like when we do return, how can I help our school kind of move forward in ways that we can be more innovative with e-learning for those students who do have those resources. Personally, being at home with my kids, oh, y'all pray for me, okay? Because they are busy and I need to do better about, I wrote down my routine, like this is what we're gonna do at this time, but yeah, it's kind of hard. So yeah, pray for me that I can, be more consistent with that because they need to be constantly doing something at all times.
I'm very thankful I don't have to do that.
But kind of like you, Miss Whitaker, I do get to spend time with Kinsley, as which I don't because I'm, at work so much and getting home late. So I am enjoying being able to bond with her. And I know I haven't told everyone yet, so I'm telling y'all, I am expecting number 4. So it's been nice to sleep.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Lucy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been nice to sleep, get some rest, and that part has been great. I don't have any complaints about that part.
You did your bun in the oven.
Oh, I know.
Okay, Miss Canty. Or Charmaine, you haven't gone either.
Yeah, she can go. I'll go after
okay.
her.
Professionally, it's just really hard being at home and away from my students. I never really thought that I would be saying I miss them every day, but now I do. And I like Miss Amerson, have lots of questions about what's next. Like, I like to plan ahead, so I want to know what's coming, what do I need to do next, what do I plan for, how do I plan for it. But I just feel kind of like everything is up in the air. And like Miss Candace said, I've been learning that I am not in total control.
That part.
So just try not to lean into my own understanding. Also, it's hard thinking about the fact that I've been doing this reading recovery class all school year, and now we're just kind of like at a standstill right now because Clemson is not going back this semester. So we're having to figure out what we're going to do with our class and how we're going to get grades. So everything is kind of like at a standstill. I am used to going, not getting home until late almost every day because I'm working, and now I'm at home all day eating snacks and getting fat.
I hear that. Me too.
Oh my God.
Okay. Ms. Charmaine, what are your thoughts?
So, professionally, even though I'm kind of out of education, but it's been a good thing to see so many educators being creative on how they teach their children, like an online and using social media resources and all of those things. So that's been good to see. Reading stories, like I've enjoyed seeing that. And also sharing websites that the kids can go to. I actually expressed my concern to someone this morning about kids actually having access to a device. I know there are still devices in the possession of the school district, and finding out if at all those kids who may not have one at home, or if parents have multiple children, that they can actually come up with a plan to get those devices out. Because, I know another issue is with the Wi-Fi on the buses. It's a great idea. However, there are some parents that are still working outside of their homes. And then there are also some parents who don't have transportation to get to the buses, let alone devices. So I've expressed my concern with that this morning. So hopefully there's something that will happen on that. But the other thing I've learned is that we can do this. Like, we can actually do this. Like, the kids can learn from home. I know some parents are struggling, but I will say that, you know, my daughter and her friends have been pretty good about, right, Candace, you know, about asking each other what's going on, what assignment is due next. The teachers have been really good about doing like Google Hangouts and things like that. So I think all of that is wonderful. You know, I just wish there were more resources to assist teachers, assist you all with the plan of action, as you all have been saying.
Right.
And, you know, kind of being structured and everybody on one accord as to what they're going to do. Because like I said, some teachers are, you know, doing some things, and, you know, others are looking to other teachers for assistance. So I think that would be a great idea. And then personally, you know, I've been cooking more than I've ever cooked in my life. I tell you this.
Yes.
So that's one thing. And then we're understanding, me and Para are understanding about structure and how can we structure our lives, you know, what time to get up, what time to, you know, when I'm going to stop working and going back to work. And you know, from home is different. So
Right.
but, you know, adjusting to that, praying that the end is near.
Yes. Yes. Thank y'all so much for those insights. I was jotting down some things that you guys were saying, and one thing that resonated with me that also goes with the purpose of us of meeting right now is, what do we have control over? And I saw Julia Cook. She's a famous school counselor turned author and speaker, but she has a book called Wilma Jean, the Worry Machine. And I saw her reading out loud, and she did like this activity where she put inside of bubbles things that she's worried about, and then one bubble, or I think the big bubble in the middle, were all the things that she could control, and everything that was outside of the bubble, just like, well, I don't have any control over those things, so I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not even going to give them any more energy. I'm just going to spend my energy on what's inside this bubble that I can control. So, you know, all the things like, you know, that you mentioned, the buses, parents and the technology and all that stuff, you know, we really don't have within our power personally the ability to change all that. So I kind of want to see what it is that we can do, what can we control, so that we can still be a benefit and a help to our teachers and our students. So let's talk about number 2. So our original focus and our goal was to help with the phonics instruction. You know, we had a tremendous, wonderful start with that. Ms. Joyner shared her professional development on that, and the teachers really loved it. But I was wondering, like, should that fall to the wayside because of the situation that we're in now? Or is there anything that we can do to kind of still support that, even while we're not in school? I don't have the answer, but I kind of wanted to kind of glean some ideas from you all as to how we can do it, because that we can control. We can control what we put out there, and what we ask teachers to do, or resources that we provide for them for that. So even when they're putting together their work packets, making sure that they have something in there that focuses on the phonics. Okay. For the first bullet, I saw Candace, and there are probably others who've done this, but I saw her reading aloud to her students. Like, could I don't know, could we develop, or could we encourage teachers to record themselves doing, like, reviewing those kind of skills that they would ordinarily review in the mornings? I see some head shaking.
Yes.
Y'all think so?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like a letter or a sound of the day, Maybe if they don't record it, maybe they could use their Facebook Live feature or whatever, and let parents know, hey, at this time every day, I'm going to go live and I'm going to be reviewing, bam, this thing, this letter, this sound, this chunk, whatever it is, this calendar things, whatever it is that teachers go over traditionally every morning, so they can at least have some kind of normalcy, and then still focus on that skill. What are the printed materials? Excuse my voice, y'all. I need to drink some water. Maybe some printed materials or something. Miss Joyner has a really good packet, that we've been using with Gabe. So that could even be an option. Are there any others, or? Oh my God, you see this right now?
I think one thing too that we need to keep in mind with allows and stuff is copyright stuff. You have to make sure that you have permission from the author to use books and stuff. So it gets kind of, just something to keep in mind.
Mhm.
I know on Scholastic, they gave us a free pass to do read alouds for this time period.
Yeah.
Now for a specific time, I'm not sure as far as the specific date as to when we need to stop using it, but I know for Scholastic we can use those books without being penalized.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other thoughts or ideas?
I like the idea of recording something and most children have access to at least a cell phone where they can watch YouTube. They're doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like the idea of pre-recording a lesson and having a time where the students can go on and look and do some learning with their teacher. I know that we're going to be extended as far as our time out, but how long, that part we don't know. But maybe not for this time. But if we're out for an additional 2 weeks past that, maybe even thinking about some materials that can be sent home to kind of accompany the lesson that you're doing, whether it be like some cutout letters, and you can do a making words activity. Your students can do that along with the teacher to make it a little more interactive, and they're still reinforcing those phonics skills. But
Gotcha.
that's like a little long term if we're out even longer, so that teachers can have time to prepare those things.
Gotcha.
I've been thinking about using my my fluency journals in the next 2 weeks, sending them home with my students because they know how to do each day's activity already, just so they can have some kind of routine. And I also have been thinking about how I can use Flipgrid, I think that's the name of it, to record and have like a classroom chat with my students, and then they can go in and record videos whenever it's convenient.
What is it, Bree? Say that one more time. What are you talking about using? What tool?
Flipgrid.
Flipgrid.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Is that kind of like a Zoom or kind of like a Google Hangout?
Is similar, but you set up a topic that you want to discuss, and basically you have like a class discussion, but it's sending videos from each student or teacher, and it's like sending a text message back and forth via video.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Esau, that's another it kind of reminds me what you said when you talk about Flipgrid. Seesaw is another tool. It's an app, it's free. You can upload videos, the students can upload videos. It has resources for kids, for math, for reading, phonics, already embedded in the program. Like when the parents go on, they can you can already have like videos and things that you want the kids to do. It's 4K friendly too, Candace, because I know a lot of stuff out there is not. But
What's it called?
Seesaw, and it's an app that parents can download to their phone.
Okay.
But it sounds a lot of what Bree was talking about. So they probably do about the same thing, but this one does have resources already there where you can send out videos and things that are pre-made and activities that are interactive that students can do too.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Listen, guys, I forgot something very major. So like this free account that I have, it only allows you to call for 30 minutes. I don't know if you got that notification, but we have like 5 minutes left of free recording time. Okay. So obviously we're not going to get through all of this today. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We did throw some ideas out. Do y'all think maybe we could get on a Google Doc and put all these ideas on a Google Doc to share out with teachers, at least to give them, I guess, a page of resources of ways that they can maybe, of ideas that they can use going forward?
I think that's a great idea.
How's that sound?
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we can all contribute to it, and then maybe it can be sectioned off. Like, here are, phonics lessons, materials, or ways that you can address phonics with your kids. Here are the apps that we found helpful that we're trying. Maybe it can be something like that. Maybe like a newsletter style, and send out to them to support them when we do come back together for them to plan or for them to get their packets ready. It's just a thought.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I know
think that would be very helpful.
That would be helpful. Awesome. And somebody asked about Google Classrooms. I don't know who put that on there for us to talk about. But is that something that's pretty easy to use, right?
It is easy to use. However, if the students have not been using it prior to this time, it's too much for them right now.
Okay.
And we're not set up for that at the Early Childhood Center, are we?
Yeah, you can do it.
Classroom, yeah.
Yeah, you can set up your Google Classroom, but as far as what teachers can do, they can upload resources into Google Classroom. But as far as parents would need to know, like, how to go in, how to retrieve the information, and all of that. Right. If they have an older sibling, it would be easy, but
they're like, our parents are not set up for that, I guess is what I meant, not us. Our parents are not set up to retrieve all of that.
And they're not familiar with how to use it. Right? That would be the issue. Please.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies, we've got 2 minutes and 35 seconds. I'm sorry, I wasn't even thinking about that time limit. But I still think that this has been a productive conversation, and it's good that we've been able to check in with each other. So I'll start the Google Doc and I'll share it out, and whatever ideas that you have and that you're used to, let's throw it on the doc, and then we can get it organized and have it ready by the time we have to report back to NECC. Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
Do you think it's still going to be Monday? Is that what the plan is still?
Hadn't heard anything different.
Okay.
Anybody know anything?
Yeah, I found out Friday night at 12 o'clock.
Or Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
All right, ladies. Well, I'm gonna let's see, stop sharing, and just look for the doc. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.